Hello everybody, my name is Alex. Welcome to the Shadow Ideas channel. This is where I'm going to upload some of my Blender tutorials. Before we get into this tutorial, I just want to explain a bit about myself. I am pretty much brand new to Blender. I've been using it for 4, maybe 6 months. I've been learning from people like Bad Normals, CG Geek, Ducky 3D and Polyfield, and their tutorials are just blowing my mind. The amount of things that I've picked up, learnt myself, to the point where I can sort of do this tutorial. It's been phenomenal. In fact, the background image that you see was a Ducky 3D tutorial on geometry nodes making an abstract, organic sort of spaceship hull. Using Eevee, which I tend not to use. I prefer cycles just because I love that realism. I also want to apologise for the quality of this video. This is my first tutorial. I use my hands a lot. I am quite a nervous person on camera. I used to stream video games on my other YouTube channel, Shadowverse Gaming, and I have all the setup, gaming PC, which I'm now just using for graphics. But I can't seem to get Streamlabs working correct. Anyway, so what we're going to be creating is a video that Bad Normals did in Blender 2.93, where he had a circle and he could move each individual instance kind of separately using math nodes and separate XYZ. However, in 3.1, at least that's the version I'm using, it's in alpha, these nodes seem to have magically vanished, and on the video, his video, in the comments, me and a few other people, which I will shout out at the end, have come up with slight little workarounds. Now, unfortunately, I still cannot get the exact result Bad Normals did, but I've come up with a way to kind of sort of do it. So I don't know off the top of my head, so I have Blender open on my other screen there. I'm just going to be copying from that, so you're going to have to bear with me. Hopefully I'll do it slow enough that you can kind of see what I'm doing. I still don't really know what I'm doing, so what we're going to do is we're going to load up Blender now. So let me just switch scene, like that. This is something that I have created myself. It is Chili the Puffling. My friends love it. So realistic snow and a puffling. I'm not good at modelling. Anyway, so we're going to load up Blender. Welcome to 3.1 alpha. So we're going to create a general, and what we're going to do is we're going to delete the camera and the light. And it must be refreshing for some people that I am not deleting the default cube. And that's because we're going to be using this to power our geometry nodes. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to hide this temporarily just so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to go Shift A, Mesh. I'm going to create a torus. Now Bad Normals creates a circle and then extrudes it, but I can't extrude it for some reason. I can't make it 3D. I can only extrude it into like a cylinder. So I'm just not going to bother with it. I'm going to, oh hello, I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to increase the segments to 150, maybe lower the minor radius to 0.05, and the major radius we can keep as that, so that's pretty good. Just set my DPI again. Also going to click the torus and just select Shade Smooth, so it's a nice smooth ring. Right, now we're going to do the fun stuff. I am going to be looking over here, so we are going to select the cube, which is currently invisible. That's fine. Go over to Geometry Nodes tab up here, and you want to keep your spreadsheet up because it just helps you kind of see the points on the X, Y, and Z axis. So with the cube selected, we're going to select New, and we have Group Input, Group Output. We're going to do something mental now. we're going to detach, and delete the input. We can now make the cube visible, and we're going to hide the torus. So we're going to need a kind of really messy looking branch system here. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start work from right to left, and this is probably not going to make any sense at all. Hopefully you can go back through the video and go, I know why he's done that. So I'm going to need the following nodes: Shift A, search for rotate instances. Just place that. We'll connect it all up in a minute. Unselect local space. I don't think it really matters. We also need an instance on points. Instead of a line, because that doesn't exist anymore, if you search the line, you come up with all of these. You need mesh line. And that's pretty much it for that one. Now, if we select rotate instances, we'll plug instances into geometry. We will plug instances on the instance on points into the instances on the rotate instances. How many times am I going to say rotate instances or instances? On the mesh line, we're going to plug the mesh into the points. Now you can see, obviously, nothing has happened. What a surprise. So we need to tell this node here, the instance on points, what object to use. Now in Bad Normal's tutorial, it allows you straight from that node. We need an object info node. So search object info. Just place it, and then with the geometry, plug into instance. Here is our object picker, torus. Look at that. We now have 10 toruses in an array. If we select our torus, you can now see, sorry, what am I talking about? Don't know, ignore me. Wow. We can now change this to 3 to get 3 instances, 5, etc, etc, and you can just do that, which is fun. Here we go. Select instances tab, and that'll bring it up. So we've got 6 in total. Keep your spreadsheet, and we have the Z set to 1 meter distance. As you can see, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. If you change the offset to 1, then it's also going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just for now, I'm going to keep it as 1 meter offset. So that's got your array set up. What we're going to do now is really mess things up and try and get some rotation and scale individually based off of that spreadsheet. So what we are going to need to do is add, and move these out of the way, because we're going to be plugging into these purple diamonds. So we're going to add a position node, which is going to take its data off of this column. We're then going to add a separate x, y, z. We're going to plug the position into the vector. Those values disappear. For this one, this is going to be for scale. So I'm just looking at what I've already done. We're going to add a math node, keep it as add, and we're going to use the z because that's the values that are changing because of the height. We're going to take the z, we're going to put that into value 1, keep it as add, and we'll change the value to 1, so everything is multiplied by 1. 1 is added to every z position. With that value, we're going to plug that into another math node. don't know why I've done that, but anyway, this is how I got it to work. Value to value. I'm going to plug this value into the scale. So there we go. Everyone is getting bigger. Now we'll see if we adjust that number. You can see what's happening there. So that's quite nice. So I'll change that to 1. Now if I change that to multiply, pardon me, the bottom one's going to stay the same. In fact, I think I'm going to keep multiply on here because 0 multiplied by 1 is 0. So it's going to keep the base 1 just as we want. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the rotation. So it's going to be this node here. Yes. So we're going to grab another position node. We're going to grab another separate XYZ. Plug the position into there. Again, with the Z, we're going to take one of these, a multiply node, multiply math. Take the Z, plug it into value 1, and we're going to change this value to 0.25 because that's the value I found to work. Select clamp, and we're going to plug this value into rotation. So now you can see it moves, which is brilliant, and everything is moving individually. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Z and plug it into this value here so that they move, their size is related. So this is the node tree setup I have on my other screen. So we can tinker with it a little bit. I'm just going to close this, bring this down just a touch so we can see this more. What I'm going to do is I am going to increase the count to 10, which is brilliant. And then I'm going to just lower the Z and keep increasing it. So there we go, we've got 54 instances. That's fantastic. But it's all coming out from one point. Now, this is where I get stuck. I don't know where to take the tutorial onto next. So this is where I challenge you, the Blender community, or any 3D artists, if you have any sort of knowledge with Blender or 3D programs which are similar, how to change it. In his tutorial, he also shades it. So again, really easy. I'm just going to go back to layout. And then I'm going to switch over to rendered view. I'm going to just switch it over to cycles. As I told you, I love cycles. And we are going to do the following. Just adjust this. And my render. I shouldn't need any more 500 than that either. I'm also going to Shift A, light, point light. Move it up on the x-axis. I'm going to make that a lot stronger, let's say 500. Increase the radius. I'm going to Shift D this one, just move it down here. Oops. Move it along the x-axis to there. That's lovely. So that's nice and done. On the world, we're just going to change that to black. So we've got this nice looking sort of spiral effect. It looks more like an amphitheatre. So with the torus selected, we're going to go over to the shading tab. Switch back to what we've got, or you can use the material preview, completely up to you. We're going to just get rid of these. So torus selected, we're going to press new. There we go, we've got a new principled BDSF. In Bad Normal's tutorial, he managed to get a way of making each ring sort of different coloured, so we are going to add a colour ramp. I mean, that's just as important as the default cube. Plug the colour into the base colour, refer to update, there we go. And then we are going to add object info node. And we're going to plug the random into the factor at the bottom here. And there we go. Now we can start playing with the colours. So do whatever you want. I am going to go for a nice hex value of green. Actually, I'm going to go for a nice blue, and then I'm going to add another point. We're going to create probably a nice pink, because that looks cool, and then we'll go into nice purple. That's good. We can set this to constant, which makes it a little bit harsher, but it's probably best to keep it as B-spline or ease. And then you can just mess around with these positions to see what's best for you. Now if we switch back to layout, we have this sort of cool effect. And then, as ever, Shift A, create a camera, and then we're going to just go to front view, set the camera there, bring it up a tad, keep it at X0. I'm just going to punch in on that sort of spiral. Just mess around with those a bit, and we can go to render image, and there we have it, some kind of weird circle thing. Now again, I really hope that people on YouTube, including yourself, have an idea how to make his tutorial perfect for 3.1. It's something I really want to do. This is the best I can come up with. Again, let me know. Put your video in the description. Let me know what you did in the description. Sorry, comments. And I'll see what else I can come up with. And if I can come up with anything better, I'll upload another video. But for now, thank you for watching. Yeah, short and sweet. Goodbye. I am a terrible person. I completely forgot to do the shout out. So I'm obviously going to link the original video in the description of this video. But I want to shout out Shira Tori, who gave me the idea. Well, not gave me the idea. They gave me the actual position node and separate XYZ node sort of idea to plug into the other nodes. Check out the comments in the original video, you'll see what I mean. And obviously shout out to Bad Normals. Thank you so much for doing the original video. I wish I could make it exactly like you do. If you somehow by some miracle stumble across my video, Bad Normals, thank you. And can you redo it 3.1 so I don't have to kind of stumble across what I've done? That would be fantastic. And lastly, apologies for the audio and video going a bit jittery whilst I was rendering. It's because I was rendering and I completely forgot that that would be an issue. I don't know why I decided to render. But yeah, thank you so much for watching that video. It means a lot considering I am super nervous. That was my first ever Blender tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having fun. If there's anything else that you kind of want me to do, I have done quite a few bits, which I will play at the end of this video. Let me know, I guess. If you want to set me a challenge, that would be fantastic. Because I really want to learn Blender a lot more than I have now. I want to learn how to sculpt. I want to learn how to make realistic like skin and stuff like that with subsurface scattering. I really just want to take a week or two off my full-time job and just power through my 133 video long Blender playlist on YouTube and just learn. Anyway, I've been Alex. I will continue to be Alex. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. #I'm awkward.